of entire topical cycling. So please go ahead.
Thank you for introduction. I'd like to talk about large AD simulation of entire tropical cyclone. I'm Junshi from Tohoku University. So tropical cyclone have a sub-kilometer fine-scale structures in boundary layer, which is called roll structures. This shows a Warman Winslow science paper, and they have observed by Doppler velocity, and they assume the presence of such a roll structure in the boundary layer. If such roll structure exists in the boundary layer, that they work to as a downward transport of large momentum aloft to that cause a local extreme wind near the surface. And also the fine-scale structure perhaps exists in the not only the boundary layer but in wall cloud. LES for tropical cyclone boundary layer has been conducted, but to reduce the computational cost of the LES, various techniques are used like them. But in contrast, this study simply performs a LES on entire tropical cyclone despite its huge computational cost. The advantage are we have less uncertainty using these techniques, and we can reasonably increase the interaction between various scales. And we can include our upper altitude, that means our entire world clouds. So this presentation contains two parts. The first part is the previous LES. We made a LES for entire developed PC. And the second part is a LES for entire tropical cyclone for entire development period. So first LES, we use the JMA-NHM, which is a typical regional mesoscale numerical weather prediction model, which is used in JMA for the previous operational model. The domain covers 2,000 by 2,000 kilometers, and the horizontal boundary is doubly cyclic. So that means idealized simulation. The horizontal resolution is 100 meters, and the grid number is huge, as you see. And the time integration of the LES is only 10 hours. That means I spin up the tropical cyclone by the resolution of 2 kilometers. That is almost negligible. The cost is negligible compared to the LES. And then after 5 days of integration, the LES is performed after here. And we use the Japanese previous most powerful supercomputer K, and it takes weeks of computation. So this is the result of the LES. This shows 1 hours of simulated wall cloud. So this is only the part of the domain. And as you see, the tropical cyclone itself, and it accompanies a number of fine-scale structures. So this animation is the same result for the same result, but we focus on the wall clouds. So as you see, the many fine-scale structures. So I focus on the first motivation was the boundary layer. So if we see the boundary layer, we found many coherent structures. These animations show the vertical velocity near the surface, and we do see the regular pattern, and the characteristics are different depending on the radius. We actually find 3 kinds of roll structure at each radius. So this conceptual figure shows the characteristic of the 3 kinds of roll. So depending on the radius, we find the roles whose orientation to the tangential winds are different. And the type A role has been observed by the many observation studies, including the Warmer and Winstrow's paper. But the type B and C near the TC center is firstly found in the LES because there have been no observation beneath the wall cloud. So I'm waiting to observe these role structures. For application, the LES can estimate the gust factor. So the LES generates a very high frequency data output, and we can directly estimate the 3-second maximum wind, the gust factor of the short time scale winds. And this factor is said to be 1.1 as this guideline, but the LES results show the locally larger values near the radius of maximum wind. It reaches 1.4 just below the wall cloud. So the first part was a developed TC, but we recently tried the LES for the entire development period. That means that LES for the long time duration. The configuration is actually all the same as the previous one. Same model, same domain, and same resolution. But the time integration is over the 100 hours. So we can use the updated, the most powerful supercomputer called Fugaku. And the elapse is now almost 4 months. And so I use the environment for the tropical cyclone, which experience a rapid intensification in reality. I use the Hagibis, the analysis data for the Hagibis, tropical cyclone 1919. And in the tropical area, the sounding is extracted like them. And it's this one-dimensional environment, but we don't include the vertical shear. Only the temperature and the humidity are imposed at the initial condition of the LES. And we have done the LES. So for comparison, we made a preliminary experiment with a 2 kilometer resolution. So the LES cause the rapid intensification as similar to the 2 kilometer resolution result, and also the tropical cyclone in reality. But the onset of the rapid intensification is almost 1 day delayed. And I find that if the tropical cyclone develops, you have to shorten the time step by step. That is necessary to further develop the tropical cyclone. Otherwise, the rapid intensification is stopped. And eventually, the LES reached the minimum pressure of 920. As you see, if we shorten the time step, the maximum surface wind speed jump up. So this seems necessary to develop to reproduce a strong tropical cyclone. So the pressure minimum of the 920 seems to be the limit predicted by the MPI theory. And it's, so if the simulation if the 100 hours after the initiation, the MPI continue to reduce and it reaches reduced to 920. So this may be the limit. So this is a snapshot of the developed TC. So the difference from the LES after the developed TC is we have a flow of fine scale structures because of we have enough spin-up time far from the tropical cyclone center. The tropical cyclone center, we have a similar roll structure compared to the previous LES. So we don't have seen all of the data, but the structure is changed between the development. So outer rim band exists, and in some points, high voltage replacement occurred. And this is a snapshot when the tropical cyclone attains the maximum magnitude. So this is a vertical structure. Excuse me, I don't have an animation for that result. And I expect there are many kinds of fine scale structure in this data. So this is an example. So in the wall cloud, this shows the shading shows a tangential wind, and the green contour is a hydrometer. So we see the positive correlation between the local tangential wind and hydrometer. But we also expect the fine scale structure in boundary layer as a part of the tropical cyclone as well. So let me summarize this study. We conduct LES, horizontal resolution 100 meter for idealized entire tropical cyclone. We find a fine scale structure in both boundary layer and wall cloud. So the new thing we are doing is LES for entire development period. We do see the rapid intensification to almost MPI, but delayed, 1 day delayed compared to the usual resolution. And this, we see roll away from the boundary layer, outer rim band or IO replacement, many complicated things. So we continue to analyze this data set for to find more detail. So thank you for your attention.
So thank you very much, Ito-san. That was a pretty incredible presentation. So I'd like to take some comments or questions from audience. Do you have any questions? No. Yes, please go.
So can you speculate the reason why 1 second time step failed?
Yes. So this is necessary to reproduce a very extreme wind. So some kind of numerical filter take place, and that dumps the extreme wind. That is to reasonably increase the extreme wind is necessary to develop the intensity of tropical cyclone in high resolution. But I'm not sure the correct reason, but that's just speculation. Thank you for your question.
So any other efforts from dark side?
So do you think that it is possible to detect the roll structures types B and C using some kind of remote sensing techniques?
Sorry.
So do you think it is possible to detect the roll structures types B and C using some kind of remote sensing techniques?
Yes, thank you for your question. So there are structure in the boundary layer. So fortunately, the tropical cyclone passes close to the observation site, it is possible. And it's, I've seen the Japanese phased array radar somehow observe such structure, but it's a very lucky case. So the type B and C occurs the very region where the winds are very strong, so it's inevitably difficult to observe.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, thank you. So this is the end. Thank you for my presentation. So now all the presentation is at the end. So I would like to thank both the speakers and the audience for such nice sessions. So thank you very much. So maybe some information from the LOC. So.